guy who didn't get drafted.
I wasn't the biggest. I wasn't the fastest.
He got cut from a couple NBA teams.
Bouncing in between the G League and the big league.
Cook's open, he'll fire. Three ball, cut at the buzzer. Quinn Cook from downtown.
Make sure when you see Quinn Cook, from now on, you call him champ.
That sounds good. That sounds real good.
Quinn Cook grew up right outside Washington, D.C. in Prince George's County, Maryland. It's a basketball mecca and a place where he would learn to hoop with his father, Ted.
My dad put the basketball in my hand when I was a baby. I always had a Michael Jordan jersey on.
He started playing ball when he was 3. The other boys would have the ball and be running like it was a football, but he was the only kid that would dribble. Wherever he was, he would always dribble, 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 dribble. I think he slept with his basketball.
We had a really great childhood. We grew up with like a lot of toys and love, a lot of family vacations.
You know, my dad just taught me every year, and he just knew I loved it. So he just let me play freely, and he just knew that I loved it.
Quinn, at a young age, exciting to watch. Very skilled, always flashy.
He was one of the top-rated point guards at 13 years old when he was in 8th grade. He had a grown person's work ethic. You don't find that too often in a 12 and 13-year-old. When you can outwork people, and you can outthink people, and you can outshoot people, you can play at any level.
In this area, kids get recruited to go to high schools like it's a college.
And we like, how are we gonna choose? And so we wrote down academics, coach, location, visibility, and we just did scores. DeMatha won by a long shot.
How many championships you got as a coach?
7.
7. Them boys gonna win again this year.
Got a chance, man.
That's crazy that you still had this.
So they come in, just put their phone in their slot. So if I could see their name and number, I knew they didn't turn their phone in that day.
We ain't turn our phone in, and then we ain't start. Against McNamara, they was good, and all the chicks was there.
Now go ahead and tell them the other part of that story that you probably gonna not want to acknowledge.
What?
So Quinn, smart kid. How many phones you had, Quinn?
2.
So he would put the phone that wasn't even on, put it in there, but like, I turned my phone in and have his real phone. But then I get a phone call, but like, Quinn got his phone taken. I'm like, no, he didn't. His phone is sitting right here. He's like, well, he had another phone there. So yeah, we learned to ask Quinn for all of his devices.
DeMatha High School, one of the best programs in the country.
When you think high school hoops in this area, you think DeMatha because of the tradition. And as usual, DeMatha has one of the most talented teams in the area. The unusual thing is that DeMatha head coach Mike Jones is relying on a savvy sophomore to help guide them. His name is Quinn Cook. With the help of his best friend, who just happens to be a teammate, how is that playing with him?
Great. I mean, we just know each other. Like, say a Saturday night, we just go in the backyard and just work on alley-oops and passes and stuff.
Even if I couldn't dunk it now, we still throw it up and I'll just lay it in. And then when I started dunking, it just got even better from then on.
If Victor is the flash, Quinn is the glue. The sophomore point guard is just one of a handful of players to have started games for DeMatha as a freshman.
If you would have talked to us back then, there's no way anybody says there's 5 NBA players on that team. And that's not a knock on them at all. Like, they have really, really worked to be as good as they are. From Quinn Cook to Victor Oladipo to Jaren Grant to Jeremy Grant.
We all kind of made a pact that we're going to work extremely hard, work as hard as we can to get to the NBA, to get to that level, and I think we all stuck to it.
I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the biggest, so I always had to go harder than anybody else. I always had to do more. So I go through things when I work out, when I lift, when I shoot. I love it because I know, it's all for a reason.
Farms is like the mecca of street basketball in D.C. In New York, you had a Rucker. In D.C., you had Berry Farms.
16-point affair. Team Ice.
Some of the baddest ball players that never made it to the pros
Biscuit 7
play here.
Corey jumped high as a cigarette pack to get it that time.
Troy on the move.
There you go. Beautiful drop on. That's Jay. Good in the league, y'all show my main man. NBA champion, y'all show my man Quinn Cook some love. Good in the league, y'all show the homie Quinn Cook some love.
So basketball in the DMV is an art. It's a culture.
It's the heart and soul of this country, is PG County basketball.
We have so many talented kids that come out of this area.
From Len Bias to Kevin Durant to Steve Francis, Allen Iverson.
I think we breed the best players in the world, honestly.
That's what it's all about. This DMV area, players stick together and they try to put DC on the map. Tell us how you guys met, how you felt love and grew together.
Do you want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah.
Second week on campus at Howard University, and I have on these Sassoon jeans, and I walked by him and his frat, and he was like, woo! He asked me on a date. That night we went to Gusty's, which is a Italian restaurant, and that was it. We were together ever since.
The Cook family, they're amazing, man. They're the most humble, the most grateful people.
It was just like being around the Huxtables. Always loving, warm.
His dad, Mr. Cook, one of the best people I've ever met in my life.
He was a man that gave any and everything to anyone from the bottom of his heart.
His personality was infectious. Everything that Ted liked, Quinn liked.
I just had my best game as a high school player on a Tuesday. I remember I scored 18 points. It was my season high, and my dad took me to get pizza after the game and Italian ice. We have a place called Three Brothers, and Friday, February 15th, I went downstairs, and I'm like, yo, you taking me to school? He's like, no, I'm not taking you to school. I gotta go get surgery. So Sunday, my mom and my aunt told me I had to come to the hospital immediately. Something had happened.
Ted Cook suffered a heart attack during a procedure and slipped into a coma shortly after.
We didn't tell Quinn, and we were like, he's not gonna make it. And that's when we started saying, and I remember we all gathered in this room, and we told him.
I was just numb.
In the weeks following the news of the coma, Quinn returned to a place he had been many times before.
We went back to the gym that night, and that was just my relief, my stress, my sanctuary.
And en route from the gym back to the hospital, I got the call.
Yeah, it was very difficult, but he's really powerful, so I just felt blessed that I had him.
I cried, but I was my only time really crying at that time because I really wanted to be strong for my mom and sister. Instead of me feeling bad and feeling confused about what happened, I was just grateful. A lot of my friends never had time with their fathers, so I got 14 years with them. So the stuff that he taught me in those 14 years, I try to still use to this day.
And so it was here, on this court, where Quinn's devotion to his father drove him to focus on the sport they both loved.
For Quinn, the basketball really was the easer.
Basketball became our safe haven, really.
And while that safe haven helped him, Quinn needed a better setting.
Around here, the city can kind of swallow you up a little bit. He needed to get away.
And so Quinn completed his senior year 350 miles away at Oak Hill Academy.
You know, I thought I needed to get away from the city to kind of really focus in on my academics.
And that's when Duke University came calling.
I got to have my own unique personal handshake with each one of my brothers.
Well, he evolved. When he came here, he had a little problem of adjusting and developing the work ethic that was needed to be successful here. Once he got it, he was unbelievable. He became one of my leaders, and he was the key figure in leadership when we won the national championship in 2015.
Left hand over Decker. What a shot by the senior captain. It's in the other box when the ball's on one side. Go up. Oh, what a shot.
They say time heals, you know, it doesn't for me. I didn't want to let him down. I wanted to lead every day and make him proud, and he's my coach forever.
It's draft day. It's a special day. The gang is all here. Turn up.
He plays basketball for Duke, if you don't know. Quinn Cook is in the house. I thought it was J. Cole for a second. I think J. Cole. Hey, Quinn in the house, man. Hey, shout out to Duke.
As soon as I get called, I'm going to hug my mother, I'm going to hug my sister, I'm going to hug my brother, and I'm going to call you on a FaceTime.
Minneapolis and the greater Apple Valley, Minnesota area to celebrate his first wrestling.
After draft night, man, it was tough. It was really tough for him.
The Portland Trail Blazers select Rondé Hollis Jefferson.
Quinn has never been the young man to quit on anything.
Here's a guy who didn't get drafted, had to earn his stripes, and there's some type of character that's built with that.
And so Quinn bounced around from team to team, spending the majority of his time in the NBA's developmental G League.
I always just believed in myself, so for me to, get cut and play on a 10-day contract and get cut again and go to training camp, get cut, and I have to keep believing in my craft, believing in myself, going to the G League and doing what I did, and it's just a constant belief.
And that belief led him to California, where he was signed to a two-way contract with the Santa Cruz Warriors.
Our organization already really liked Quinn. We kind of had our eye on him more or less over the past couple of years. He's really progressed as a player. So when he was released, we felt fortunate that he was available. We felt like we were getting an NBA player in a two-way deal, which is really special for our organization and should make Quinn feel, really good about how he's progressed as a player.
These new contracts allowed two-way players to spend time in the G League and the NBA for up to 45 days, and Quinn took full advantage of it.
The G League just taught me, if you really want something, doesn't matter what you have to go through. Everybody's past is different. I just think that it made me, go a little harder. I just want to go down there and dominate. I wanted to prove to myself and to everybody in the world that, I was an NBA player and I didn't belong down there.
Stephen Curry's hurt. Yep. He's coming out of the game. Oh, man.
I think every player sort of has a moment where you got to do it. And I think when Steph went down, it became Quinn's opportunity, and he seized it.
Quinn Cook called up from the G League, his first career start.
Well, this is really exciting for Quinn Cook's opportunity. This man in the G League has been lighting it up.
Get the call. I think someone else told me before I knew that he was going to start in Charlotte. And we were there. It was wonderful, and I was like, wow.
Part of being one of the best players in the world is being able to do it when the lights are on and the popcorn's popping and, it's showtime, all that stuff. And when you prove that you can do it under pressure, then not only do you get the coach's confidence, but you get the respect of your teammates. That's the thing I noticed with Quinn, like right away, our guys were like they were all in on him because they know they could count on him.
And one of those guys was fellow PG County native and friend, Kevin Durant.
We've been friends for 18 years now. I met him when I was 7. Him and his family's been so good to my family and I. He's helped me so much. Just not being a great player or being Kevin Durant, he's just a great friend and a great big brother, the perfect role model for everybody coming up from our area.
So we needed somebody, to come in and kind of, right the ship a bit. So I thought having somebody in the two-way spot like Quinn was huge for us, especially when Steph got injured, that he stepped in and played so well for us.
That kid came and stepped up and won us games. That man went and earned him an NBA spot like I've never seen before.
Just to see him, his work ethic pay off, he earned this spot on this team.
Everyone loves him as a teammate, loves him as a hard worker, talented guy, puts in that work, tries to improve and get better every day, and just a great teammate. So a guy you root for, you want him to have success because you know he's capable.
For me, I got an opportunity early, and Coach Kerr believed in me. Players and coaches had supreme confidence in me, so I think that game in Charlotte kind of solidified me like, okay, I belong here, my team believes in me. Now I gotta continue to get better and be ready for that moment.
Quinn's unique. He's got such a fire about him, competitiveness, extreme confidence in himself, which he's needed in terms of his journey to get to where he is now. Obviously, nothing was given to him, having to really fight and claw and scrap his way to become an NBA player, and that belief in himself, I'm sure, has carried him, the entire way.
It just makes everything better. He multiplies the vibe. He makes his teammates better. He makes the environment better.
He's all about the team, and he's all about having fun. He's all about trying to connect with each guy, and he's got the handshakes, he's got the jokes. But in terms of just being in tune, being present, just having fun, I think that's when you contribute in the locker room like that, and be yourself, bring your personality to it, that definitely helps us go.
To get another opportunity later, get to play in the playoffs and actually playing extended minutes was a dream come true.
Quinn Cook, corner three, and he got it!
That was just the best feeling ever, and I'm just hungry for more.
He's somebody who helps really create the culture of hard work and unity and unselfishness that it requires to win a championship.
What's going on? How you feeling?
Good, ready to go, ready to play. Dream of playing in the playoffs, so my first one, I'm with an experienced group, so I'm confident and I'm thankful to be a part of this journey.
The Warriors are trying to win their third title in 4 years to truly cement themselves as a dynasty. Cook while balanced, dribbles it. And Cook knocks it down.
Make that an exclamation point.
Boy, just always great to see a guy get an opportunity. What a job by Quinn Cook tonight. Bell with a rebound, down to 5 seconds, down to 4. Bell across half court. The Warriors start to celebrate. The one-time darlings are now a dynasty.
That feel real good.
Night of championship was something that I dreamed of, something that, a night that I will always remember in my mind. I've envisioned that moment, my entire life.
When he first showed up, he knew he belonged, and he's proven that. And now he gets to celebrate as a champ, baby.
I got the best team in the world.
Make sure when you see Quinn Cook, from now on, you call him champ. Champ.
I'm on cloud 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm just, it's like a dream. Feels like I'm dreaming. I don't want to wake up. I never want to wake up. You guys are the best fans in the world, and bringing it back to the Bay once again. See you at the parade, man. It's going down.
When I saw him in the Warriors uniform, you know, I saw him running those miles on the track. I saw him in that empty gym. That's who I saw. I always told him greatness is a journey, not a destination.
What's my legacy want to be? I just want to be remembered as a great human being, a guy who gave back to his community, a guy who helped others. As a player, I want to be remembered as a winner, a guy who's respected from every player, every coach, every front office member, fans. I want to win as much as possible. I have a great family, and they taught me great lessons growing up, and you know, they raised me the right way. So I just want to keep making them proud, just being a better human being off the floor, and everything to take care of itself.